Okay, I've got to let my viewers know that not only do I blame the courts in Coventry City for doing what they did to me, the vile acts that they caused, evicting me from my family house, and then also before that, they moved me from my children, two separate occasions. But I've got to mention that as my nasty partner as well, she's to blame as well. She shouldn't have been allowed to court me and be rewarded, especially with the kids exclusively like that. That was out of order. So that's a nasty person there being rewarded by the Coventry courts, family courts in particular. And I was told I could live at my mother's place, her family house, and that's where I was living until they evicted me from there. That's the Coventry County Court that evicted me from there. And I was forced to sleep rough in my car for 13 plus months. They're bastards. Bastard courts and dictats. Totalitarian regimes operating here in Coventry. The whole world should know about it. If they side with one partner like that exclusively, then they're also extremists as well. What about my rights? I was a father there. They didn't consider my rights at all. And incidentally, I ended up in prison because of those family court orders. I wouldn't have even been imprisoned if those family court orders didn't exist. So it's all down to them. I was going back to my own family house where my kids lived, and that's where the incident took place. And my next nasty partner dialed please desist on 999, so they're going to obviously respond to 999, and it's her doing, the whole thing was her doing. I would never want to go back to her. I'd love to let my viewers know that's the worst partner in history. I could do without partners like that. And if all the other women are thinking that they're that, then they're evil women as well, all out there. If they're thinking they're just her, a mirror version of her, and only her was allowed to, have kids from me, that's out of order. There's millions of women out there. Half the population of the planet is women, and they're saying just her for me, a nasty partner like that for me. Why ain't the others sexing me, and why ain't they having kids from me? So what's wrong with them? Why are they ganging up with that bitch, that nasty bitch who did that to me and ruined me and had exclusive control over my kids? 10 years now, since 2016. And between the LEA schools, of course, they're nasty bastards as well, and they didn't even give me feedback on my kids, how they're doing, any reports. Dictators like that. That's just local Coventry schools and also her. They're all to blame. And they were, of course, rewarded. The instrumentation was through Coventry family courts. Their vile acts. And then to make things worse, they wanted to finish me off by removing me from my mother's family home after snatching her, incidentally, and putting her in care homes, which rendered me in a vulnerable state, of course. I was made vulnerable adult directly as a result of those court orders on behalf of Citizen Housing Group based in Birmingham. So they're all to blame. They could have easily put my name down on the tenancy agreement as successor, and I could have stayed there. I was next of kin there. They've removed my mother there. That's like your King Charles. When his mother died, the Queen, did they remove him from Buckingham Palace or the other place that he's got? Because obviously she's got at least places registered. Did they do that? Of course not. I was living there, and I was legally allowed to be there, especially after my eviction by my ex-partner, who removed me for Coventry family courts. And I ended up in a 3-year prison hellhole sentence for going back. And her phone call 999 police assist caused all that. 3-year hellhole sentence for section 20 GBH. A nightmare sentence. And when I got out, they told me I could live at my mother's house. But that was all allowed, legally allowed, and that's where my probation was carried out, in fact. And I successfully completed my probation and also a domestic violence course, which was quite informative. I think she should have been put on that. She's the aggressor, obviously, but even the victims might need to be aware. So, a nasty partner like that, I will never go back to a person like that, especially after 2 times evictions. I've got to get that clear in my video. There's no chance there now, but she's had them in control for 10 years almost, exclusively with the LEA, Local Education Authority, that is, the schools. That's what they are. That's what they do. Remove fathers like me. Educate like that. They're dictators. Lecture themselves. They need to lecture dictators like that. Those court officials. Police courts, call them what you are. They're real bastards in Coventry, I can tell you that. Evil hellhole bastards. And with a nasty partner, obviously, if they think they're protecting me, they didn't need to remove me from my Coventry family house. My house where my mother lived. And they moved her out of the house, and they didn't give me a transfer to another place of abode. I had to sleep with in my car for plus 13 months. A horrendous ordeal. They're unforgivable. I want the whole world to know what they're like in Coventry. Don't you ever call the city mine. They're nasty bastards and evil bastards here. Totalitarian dictats. They need to be given the full stick, not me. And what's been going on? They're giving me the stick. One man against the whole... What? Who's my cavalry? You tell me. It wasn't Buckingham Palace cavalry for me, put it that way. I had no people there defending me, and I couldn't call anyone over. And it wasn't Marcus of Queensbury exactly either. They wanted mono and mono or something, a duel or something. They were evil as hell, put it that way. Risked my life and made me vulnerable adult who's homeless through their fault. And why they're giving me the stick now? What's wrong with these women out there? Those sexy women out there, they're puffs. Weak puffs, that's what I can say. If they're afraid of her, my ex-partner, they're real weak puffs. Then they need to be getting engaged with me, getting in a relationship with me, texting me, and maybe even having kids with me, relaying me again. What's wrong with them? That's what's wrong with them. They haven't done none of that. They haven't got the courage or the audacity to do so, to correct things. And I'm really disappointed with those women out there. They're to blame as well. There's sexy women out there, and I think they're rich. They're as worse as her if they haven't done anything for me. And expect me to go back crawling to her, you can forget it. I'll never go back crawling to her, ever. My ex-partner's a nasty witch bitch. And these women out there, they're just mimicking her. That's all they are. Puffs like that. And evil dictats. Totalitarian regimes.